So here we are with our fourth tutorial on St. Mary Magdalene, and you can see that all of her flesh is on. Looks fairly dark. I'll show you the other one because it's even darker actually. But if I can get this up close enough, you can still see the lines underneath this sunkier if you look really good. And so I'm okay with that. I can still see where we're going as long as you can see. If some of you have trouble, if you get this on Kier too dark, let me know. I can try to communicate with you personally and show you how you can reestablish those lines underneath the flesh color if you think they're too dark and you're losing your lines and not sure where to start next. So you can see for the fourth segment, we are going to have 5 colors primarily that we're working with tonight. The first one is gold oxide. We have antique green. We have unbleached titanium, Turner's yellow, and cadmium scarlet. So these are the colors that we're going to be using this evening or today for the next step in our icon. One of the first things that we're going to do then to the inner robe, we're going to go through and we're going to highlight our inner robe with some antique green. And when we're doing highlighting, our tendency is going to be to use the smallest brush we can possibly find, and actually what we want to do is we want to do the exact opposite. We want to use the largest brush that we can just to get some of those base highlights on. Because the rule of thumb is that we are going to cover very lightly, almost, or a major portion of the antique green that we already laid down. And this is where your color copy comes in really handy. And if you can see, we've got color coming out here. We've got colors coming down in through here. And then we've got a little bit here and a tiny bit on this sleeve. But we're not going to make it too bright. Okay? So we're just going to come over. Remember, when you pull your brush, pull it toward you and twirl it, and you're going to make a nice point. Just get a nice point going. A little bit more water. And so I'll keep my color copy handy so that I can look at it as I go through. So we're going to start in the corner, and from the corner we're going to just go out, and it's going to kind of look like a starburst. Just pull that down. This one has a line right in here. Line this way. And then we're going to do what we kind of call railroad tracks. Come down, come down, come down. And we'll go back over those, smooth those out, and brighten those up just a little bit as we go. Down here, if you look at your color copy, you're going to have one highlight that runs down about right there. You're going to have another one that runs down from just off center of that point all the way down. There's another one about right here. And again, let's do railroad tracks. Lay it down, pick it up, lay it down, like that. And then another one about right here. And then here, come from the top down. And you can see I have not loaded any more green. Come from the side, this way, just like that. And then we're going to take a smaller brush. Now that we have our basic highlight laid down, we'll take a smaller brush and just add some details onto that. on the highlights on her robe, on her red robe, the outer robe. And we're just going to place our cad scarlet next to the lines. Get a good outline, an idea of where we want to place. As we get toward the bottom, we're going to kind of let that highlight fade out. The closer to the bottom of the robe, the further away from the flesh, the less light, because we're in the spiritual realm. And so less light is emanating from the saint's face. The eyes are the window to the soul. And that's basically where our light source is coming from. So the further away from the eyes, the less light. So next to the line, next to the line, little starburst in the center. Two lines that are almost parallel, next to the line, railroad tracks. Railroad tracks. That's what my instructor, Jody, called. That's what she called them. So that's what I'm calling them. As we lay down each consecutive highlight, we're going to go back now. Let's let this dry for a minute, and then I think we're going to go back and do a smaller highlight just to kind of emphasize some of these, but we're not going to do all of them, okay? Just some of them. We're going to be selective and pull those highlights down just so that there's a few highlights that are going to really jump out at us. So we're starting our second wave of highlights. Remember, just less. Not highlighting every single one from the first. And we're not going to go down here at all. We're going to stay primarily right up here. Refer to your color copy. See what's happening there. The closer to the face and hands, the brighter the highlight will be. So hopefully that gives you a fairly good idea on her brown matter robe, on the red robe, the outer robe, what the highlights should kind of be looking like. Trying to get this in a good light so it's not too bizarre. So you can see we've lightened that up. We've got some nice colors going on in there. We've got some folds. We've got some movement in the fabric. And now we're going to put a little bit of antique green across this. All right. Once again, grab your color copy. Let's look at the red robe. And we can see where we're going to put just a few of these olive green highlights on this robe. This is on the outer part. So here we have pretty much the robe is highlighted. I don't think we're going to do a whole lot more to that. Hope you can see it. Try to get rid of that glare for you. And now we're just going to do a little bit of touch-ups. Well, not really touch-ups, but we're going to do some detail work a little bit. Tiny bit of Turner's yellow that I'm going to use, and that's going to outline her cuffs on her inner robe. Using a liner brush, I just want a tiny bit of this. There's that one, and on this one. You can see I kind of got a little bit wonky maybe right in there, but we're going to outline these anyway, so it's not going to make that much difference. And then with the veil, we're going to, since we have the Naples yellow hue already on here, we're also going to highlight that. Find a clean spot on our plate. And once again, refer to your color copy that you downloaded from the website. Sorry about that. And we're going to come through here and look at, you can see where this unbleached titanium is laid in just a little bit right through there, and that's where we're going to be working. We're going to come up this way, around the corner, and then we're just going to come out, come out, come out. Draw close to this line, come in here, come over here close to this line, draw in, and then once again, come out, do our little hash mark there, draw next to our line in here, and here, a couple of just like that. Okay, looks pretty good. And then once this dries, we're going to come back and put some the final highlight's going to be titanium white, and that's going to be very small. So I think this is all that we're going to do today. We did not get to the gold oxide. The gold oxide actually goes on her hair. We'll save that for the next segment. I think you have plenty to work on right now. Again, if you have any problems or issues, if you have any questions, drop me a line. You can go to my website, iconapprentice.com, or you can leave a comment below the description box here on YouTube, and I will get back to you with any questions that you might have. And if you have a problem or an issue, we'll try to work that out with you. Hey, happy painting, and thanks for joining me. Be sure to share, and let your friends know. Like us, and we'll see you next time. God bless.